Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. However this finds you, I do hope this finds you well. Listen, I'm not going to be on here for a long time, but I'm going to be on here for a who holds the power type of time. That is because today I want to talk about power, consequences, and who gets to play games while other folks' lives are on the line. Because there's a pattern that I keep seeing in AI ethics and that discourse, and I see a parallel with the show Succession. And I think it's worth examining. The HBO show Succession, it actually gives us a perfect frame to understand what's actually maybe happening when it comes to ethics and AI. If you watch Succession, then you know the show was about how elites play power games while the consequences of their decisions destroy real people's lives. Remember the cruise ship storyline, essay, ending of lives, cover-ups? And while the victims tried to get accountability, the Roy family debated succession paths, strategic alliances they positioned for advantage. The victims were not in those rooms. They were dealing with the aftermath while the family played chess. To me, that's what's happening in AI, specifically in AI ethics right now. In AI in general, but I'm going to talk about AI ethics. There are rooms where decisions are getting made about deployment, funding, regulation, research priorities. Who is in these rooms? Former tech executives, now positioned as ethical experts, academics with institutional affiliations and credentials, consultants with corporate clients, people who have platforms upon which they can write op-eds. Who is not in these rooms? The people who are experiencing the harm, algorithmic and otherwise. The workers who are being screened out by hiring tools and hiring managers. The creators that are being suppressed while documenting bias. The practitioners with operational knowledge of where systems fail. We are the cruise victims. And while we're trying to get accountability, the system, the elites, the individuals, the establishment is debating on who gets the next speaking slot, which framework is going to get lifted or sounds the most sophisticated, who's positioning themselves best for funding. Let me be clear about what this looks like in practice. I'll break it down for you even further. Images getting manipulated and hiring algorithms screening, that's the experience. Content documenting harm getting silenced, that's the experience. Those aren't theoretical future risks, y'all. These are present operational realities. And when practitioners try to speak out about these patterns, watch what happens. Emails will go unanswered, comments will be turned off, applications will get ignored, connections will get severed, frameworks will get borrowed, insights will get extracted, all the things. Those voices won't get platformed, in essence. While the people in the rooms talk about principles and frameworks and the need for more research and the importance of getting this framing right, that's what they're doing. And it's not changing shit. For me, here's what makes it like Succession. These people are not necessarily evil people. They're people playing a game. So they're basically protecting the throne. They're protecting positioning. They're building platforms, securing funding. They're making strategic moves. But while they're playing, real harm is compounding. Waystar Royco didn't set out to destroy the cruise victims. They just prioritized the company's survival over accountability. AI ethics establishments, they aren't necessarily trying to cause harm. They are just prioritizing their positioning over practitioners. The problem is exactly the same. When you're in the room making decisions, other people will bear the cost of those decisions that you make. And if those other people aren't in the room to speak for themselves, then the decisions will protect the people making them. If the people in the room making those decisions aren't making them necessarily with heart or care or understanding, the people impacted are gonna feel it. So let me bring this to structure because patterns matter, especially to me. In Succession, every time victims tried to get accountability, the company deployed the same playbook, right? They acknowledged the concern, they promised an investigation, they hired consultants, they released statements, and then they protected the people who caused the harm. Does that sound familiar? In AI ethics, every time practitioners document harm, the establishment will deploy a similar playbook. They'll acknowledge the importance of the conversation, they'll promise to do better, they'll create frameworks, they'll host panels, then continue platforming the same voices while practitioners stay locked out and while the harm continues. The process becomes the product, and the conversation becomes the work. And accountability is getting delayed indefinitely while harm is continuing. It's a loop, is what I'm trying to tell you. So here's what I need you to understand. Again, this isn't about individual bad actors. This is about structural design. The company, the system, was built to protect power, not the people. The scandals weren't bugs. They actually were features of a system that was designed to extract maximum value while externalizing costs onto those who are most vulnerable. AI ethical spaces I'm here to share with you are often built in the same way. They're designed to absorb pressure for change without actually redistributing power. So they're why every other month, every couple of months, we're seeing the same thing happen, where pictures of children and adults are getting altered, and we're like, what? Wait, why? We're seeing people shut out of job opportunities. These systems, again, are designed to absorb pressure for change without actually redistributing power. They're creating the appearance of action while protecting the people and the systems causing the actual harm. So yes, panels may happen, papers are getting published, frameworks are getting released, but who is making these decisions? Who is hiring the folks? Who is controlling the funding? Who is setting the research priorities? The same people who were there before practitioners started raising concerns, those are the people. That is not reform, y'all. That is management. Let me give you some data because facts matter. So research shows that over 70% of AI ethical roles require advanced degrees from specific institutions. Communities most impacted by algorithmic harm make up less than 10% of people setting AI policy. Meanwhile, documented cases of algorithmic discrimination keep rising, even as venture capital funding for AI companies hits record highs. The money is flowing, and the harm is increasing. The gap between who decides and who experiences, the aperture keeps widening. That's what Succession teaches us that applies directly. Power protects itself through process. The Roy family didn't openly say, we don't care about victims, we don't care about people. But what they did say was, we take this seriously. We're conducting thorough investigations. We're committed to doing better. But the structure never changed. The people making the decisions never changed. The victims never got in the room. In AI ethics, you hear the same language. We value diverse perspectives. We're committed to inclusion. We need to hear from impacted communities. But the structure, the house, remains the same, and the gatekeepers, the stewards, remain in place. And those who are impacted the most continue to be locked out. So here's my question for you. Who's in the room when decisions get made about AI in your industry, in your company, in your field? And who is bearing the cost of those decisions while not being in the room? Because until the people experiencing harm are the people making the decisions, we're just watching Succession play out in real time. Different industry, same pattern, same outcome. Well, I told you I would not be on here for a long time, but for a, examining power type of time. And I delivered. Like, subscribe, be sure to share this with a deep thinker, your guys, your girlies, whoever it is. And remember, until next time, you are capable of big things.